Magic 1075, 97.5, the real sound of Atlanta. Tonight, friends, I told you I had a special guest. Actually, I was his special guest last night. I pulled up the City Winery and introduced Raheem DeVaughn for two different shows, so 6:30 and 9:30. And when I tell you, normally when I introduce artists that are at City Winery, the crowd is very engaging, they're interactive, but your crowd is like, get Raheem. Like, they don't give a damn what I'm there to say or about the wine I'm trying to give away. They just want to see you perform. And it's always dope. Like, I've been to several of your shows, and each time your energy is crazy. Like, I'm not just saying this because we're friends, but you're actually an entertainer. You know, like a lot of people can studio sing. People mash buttons and they sound good when an album comes out, but you sound good and you put on a show. Like I was telling my homeboy, Raheem be ringing out draws on stage. Like it's a whole nother thing when you come to
It's a
a
vibe.
Raheem DeVaughn show. So welcome to Atlanta again.
Thank you. I'm on the Beezy show. This is amazing. Like people don't know that we're very close and we've known each other a long time and support each other and pray for each other. And I'm extremely excited to know that you're over here, and that I'm here and we're here, and it's good to see you.
This is really a full circle. Remember when I was working at the swimwear company
Mm-hmm.
and you called and you was like, how you doing, B? And I was like, yo, I'm struggling. Like, I'm sitting in a cubicle at a swimwear company right now, and this ain't what God has for me.
Yeah.
And you was like, just hold on, B. Something gonna come through.
Yeah.
You belong somewhere bigger. And
It's been able to identify when you're in your season, you know what I mean? Like good, bad, or indifferent, flawed, whatever. Like when you're in your season, you're in your season. So you just have to like seize the moment. That's why I think the coin phrase, stay ready so you don't gotta get ready is like so important.
and speaking of seasons, you're in yours right now. You got a new album out.
Indeed. Fall in Love is out. We dropped that first day of fall. Well, not the first day of fall. We dropped Summer of Love, the first day of summer, and then we dropped Fall in Love, which is like a remix pack of new originals, and then the lead single, which is the Ozzy Brother remake, Let's Fall in Love, and it's being received very well. People are streaming it and enjoying it and commenting. Shout out to BET Soul and her who added the video before the holidays, and of course the new video is available on YouTube as well, and we go for ads in like probably a week and a half at radio too. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how people respond or are responding to the new sound, like sonically, because I feel like I'm constantly growing and evolving as a performer, vocalist, and singer, songwriter, producer as well. But also just the climate of where music is and the conversations of R&B and soul and the king of this and the king of that. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've carved out a lane for myself that is that's very unique, and distinct, but also reps the culture of what we know it to be, soul and R&B, and what it should feel like and what it should look like when you see in the persona of it and the way it feels, coming through the speakers.
And I think, speaking of your lane, as much as you've grown and transformed, you've never tried to be anyone else or fit into any other space. Like you have the DMV sound and you stay true to that, but you also stay in your Love King lane.
Yeah,
I
grew into who I've become, and I'm still growing. You know what I mean, and evolving. But I now know the ingredients. Like I know what it needs to look like. I know what it smells like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I know. I know it's not a belief. It's not a belief thing. It's not a hoping. It's not a guess, a calculated guess. You know what I mean?
it's a knowing.
Yeah, it's the knowing. You know what I mean? It's the art of knowing. And I know the phone is not gonna stop ringing ever.
Have you ever felt the pressure to be or do anything else? Like, there's seasons, like we just discussed, where maybe the phone is not ringing as much or the music is not selling as much, or people are not checking for you as much as
Nah,
they did before.
it's up forever with me. That's
So
just the mindset is up. It's like being the R&B, the soulful R&B. It's like being the R&B Cat Williams. That's what it's like.
you watched the interview?
Oh, I watched the interview and I performed with Cat a few times. Like, we do R&B, comedy, events, but it's the same tribe. Like, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so when you recognize tribe, then you know, then you know. You know what I mean?
Is Cat Williams the same in person?
Absolutely. The Cat I've seen is very, very. Of course, it's like funny without being funny, but
Yeah.
but very like on point business sense. You know what I mean? Like, and he can move and say the things. He can move how he move because he fund his own stuff. So he don't need so there's not an issue where it's like, if he says something that somebody don't agree with, or if somebody's offended, or quote unquote you're blackballed, or you're not in the in club, like, it doesn't matter because he's the promoter, the artist, the producer, he's all things, and there's a few other comedians out there in particular that had that business model where they fund their whole, from securing the building to the promotion of it to the whole nine, and then sells out. You know what I mean? And then to be able to say you have like Netflix specials 9-10 times over. You know what I mean? Like, which is a huge accomplishment, especially if you're doing it like yourself. It's like you don't have to go beg nobody to put the money up or whatever, and so it's kind of like, I kind of look at him as the James Brown of comedy. You know what I mean? As far as you look at the business model of it,
So with him, I guess, funding his own stuff and not having to answer to anybody, do you think that, because a lot of people believed he drummed up some of that stuff because he was going on tour.
Yeah,
but then what you saying that,
that I don't know, but you know what I mean, but I will say this, that like, yeah, I mean, hey, it's great for business.
it is.
You know what I mean? Everybody talking. Everybody's talking. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking, and knowing, the creative that he is, and the writer, for his material. I would imagine, me being a writer, wholly different, totally different field. But I would imagine that we're going to get the funnier version of everything that we just watched. You know what I mean? Or I would hope that we go, on tour. You know what I mean? So the timing couldn't be more. He pulled a Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, he definitely is. But the world is spinning. Like, whether you ain't got to know English, you ain't got to be in America. You heard the interview.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? And ironically enough, I mean, you seen the show, so a lot of my show is very structured, but it's very improv. There's a lot of different moments that happen, and
you do all that? You create all that?
Yeah, like I curate all of that, and the thing is that ironically enough, I study like comedians. So like,
what is it about the comedian?
Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle in particular though, like brilliant, like, you know what I mean, like from beginning to end, from the grand opening to the grand closing. So you know what I mean, and like seeing like Dave and what he does, it's like I'm watching it, and it's kind of started like back around like COVID. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I went through this transformation. You know what I'm saying? Or awakening. Enlightening. You know what I mean? As far back as 2020, 2019 for sure. Before that, I wasn't a master of my craft. I can humbly say that. You know what I mean? But and so watching that and saying like, I want to be the R&B, the soulful R&B version of that. Like I wanted to hit like that when people see me live.
And I think the good thing about Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, and Raheem DeVaughn is that you have solidified your lane so well that when people come to see you, they already know what they're getting. Like there's no surprise. They know they're getting a good show. They know they're gonna hear good
Yeah.
music. They know it's gonna be
The
a
only
vibe.
surprise is that the set constantly changes. Because like like if you came to see me City Winery last year, you know what I mean, or last month or whenever, the last time, you're definitely not gonna get, I'm very intentional about that in terms of like not giving you the same experience. Like why should you pay to see me do the same thing over and 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 over again, That's just me personally. Now,
Right.
does that mean that I, exclude, the hits? And no, absolutely not. But, the magic tricks will change.
Talk about the new song. So the new album, Fall in Love. The new song is Let's Fall in Love. What is the sound, or what was the inspiration behind this album, and what sets it apart?
I channel my inner 90s, my inner Jodeci on this a lot. Summer Love and Fall in Love projects. And I just, stay true to the craft and the art from what I like. I channel my inner grownish, mannish, vibes, the seg, even down to the interludes, you know what I mean? Shout out to OG Nunu, shout out to phenomenal poet back at the crib, Rob Brown, who has some new spoken word pieces out and stuff. We're working on a erotic audio, like kind of like songbook kind of vibe. They're gonna be putting out at some point, and yeah, so it's most importantly though, I just challenge myself, like to find new ways to tell the story of intimacy, love, and soul and R&B.
20 years, over 20 years in the game. How has putting out music changed? Like back in the day, 20 years ago, there wasn't streaming. You didn't have that as competition. Like people weren't becoming great artists because they went viral on TikTok. So do you feel at all compelled to like create something strictly because TikTok could pick it up, or strictly because of the way that, the kind of industry is leaning now?
Nah, I don't feel the pressure doing doing anything that's trendy. You know what I mean? Not that I'm against it, but I don't feel the need. I don't feel the pressure to do it. I've always been the type of person, artist. When everybody goes right, I go left. You know what I mean? And we meet in the same destination. At the same shows, at the same venues, the same festivals. You know what I mean? But I come from an era like of a fan. I come from an era of being a fan of a certain genre and era of hip hop. Not so much the genre, but the era where, I'll be 49 this year, so I'm a young OG status right now. So I know what it's. I know. I remember a time in culture and in music where you couldn't borrow from somebody else, or emulate somebody else, or sound, or say like, hey, I'm gonna make the record sound. I'm gonna make a record, but I'm gonna make it sound like, Raheem DeVaughn, or I'm gonna make it sound like, Life Jennings or Anthony Hamilton, or you know what I mean, like everybody. And but some of the people that I'm naming right now, like they have a very distinct sound for the voice, the writing style. Like even if they have a camp where it's like it's not broke, we trying to fix it. You know what I mean? So, so it wasn't cool to kind of like bite, or you could be inspired and aspire to inspire, I get that, but like it wasn't cool to just like literally take somebody else's whole swag and make
It's
it
crazy.
and make it yours. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we definitely in an era now, as much as there's a lot of great music out there, a lot of great artists, but there's a lot of carbon copies of the great music and great artists. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you get lost in the shuffle of who's who.
Definitely. So you got 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, and 2
shows
on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, 6 shows left. Yeah.
So if somebody's coming to the show tonight, will they get the same thing as the people that are coming to the show
Nah,
Sunday?
it's no way you can get the same thing. Like, let me just be clear. Like, coming to experience me, a Raheem DeVaughn experience, is like going to see it's like going to see a Tyler Perry play. Like, when you go see, that's the thing about theater and film, right? And as a newfound love for acting and producing and getting into television and things of that nature, like difference between theater and film. With film, of course, you do multiple takes, and the end result is the final edit and the color coding and all the things that happen, and it doesn't change once you watch it. You go back and watch that same Power episode over and over again because you love the show. And some of these things or some of these films we know them verbatim. You know what I mean? Like we do them on TikTok. You know what I mean? But with theater, it's a different sexy. It's a different nuance. It's the fact that no show is ever the same. And I didn't realize that until I did the Love Jones musical a few years back. And that's when I realized, like, oh, okay, this is like theater is it. You know what I mean? So it's like, but also I'm able to pull from that space as an actor, taking improv classes and things of that nature, like understanding that, hey, this is an art form. This is what we do. And when people come, when they fill those seats, at the City Winery or at the arena, it's to be entertained. It's to sing along. Yeah, it's to maybe discover something new for the virgins that come out. You know what I mean? But like, it's to be entertained. And again, I just because I understand the fact that since like COVID and being back outside, it's a luxury, right? It's a luxury to be able for some it's a luxury based on their household, their budget, and what they can afford, and and what they want to spend their money on. So that's made it that much more competitive. You know what I mean? For me in the marketplace. So like it's green light go. You know what I mean? Like all gas, no brakes, and it needs to be memorable. It needs to be euphoric. It needs to
look and feel like love.
It needs to look and feel like love. It needs to like love, like lust, like foreplay, like my first kiss, like my first dance. I conceived my baby to this. It's I love women this way. I adore women. I respect women this way. I love men. I love black men. You know what I mean? This way. I just wanted to feel like all of those things because that's the R&B that I was introduced to through my mother and my father, and that's the R&B, soul and R&B that I grew up on.
And I'm glad you stayed true to that. I was reading an article yesterday that Pete Rock said that he felt like hip hop had kind of run out or been torn down because everybody is focused on securing a bag. Like nobody is focused on the artistry or representing for the culture. And so hearing you talk like that is, of course, you want to get the bread. You got family to take care of.
Yeah, it became a corporate thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the day that you realize that that you don't have to chase the bag, like chasing money. Like the day that you realize that you don't have to chase the money, that it'll find you easily, and you can manifest, and you can pray, and you can meditate, and you understand that all bags ain't good bags, and just all of these things. Like once you figure that out, it all unlocks. You know what I mean? Like I don't do what I do for the bag. I do what I do because I love to do what I do. You know what I mean? I just figured out a way to monetize it. You know what I mean? But I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Like I'm doing exactly what I love to do. It's not many people. There are many people that can say that, but there are many people that cannot say that they're somewhere right now doing something that they really enjoy doing. But I put the work in too. And I put the 10,000 hours in. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing. You gotta get the 10,000 hours in.
Tonight, City Winery, 2 shows. Tomorrow, City Winery, 2 shows. And then the final day is Sunday, 6:30 and 9:30. Big Ray's going to be hosting that one. I think Jackie's out there tonight. Tomorrow, Reese is out there. Whatever you do, catch Raheem DeVaughn while he's in the city. If you don't, where can they catch you at on social media?
Oh man, you can find me on Instagram at Raheem_DeVaughn, on X, Raheem_DeVaughn, Facebook.com/Raheem DeVaughn, YouTube, .com/Raheem DeVaughn channel. The website is under construction, a new website, you know what I mean? It'll be up in time for the tour. I'm not sure if we do. Do we play Atlanta? Yeah, we don't play Atlanta for the Lettucey tour, but I'm on tour with Lettucey. I'm doing 17 dates. The dates that I'm not on, BJ Chicago Kid will be joining her, so BJ will be doing, I'm pretty sure he'll probably be doing Atlanta, Chicago, and a few other dates. I won't be doing Atlanta because I'm in Atlanta for 8 sold out shows, you know what I mean? So, but shout out to Lettucey for the, the tour is about to happen. The Good Life tour, and come see us in another city, and definitely when Leg comes to town, support her, like, supporting. So, I look at it like I'm different from a lot of other artists. I look at like, supporting somebody else is like supporting me, or vice versa, because it's an ecosystem to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but we in there tonight. There may be a few seats available, so you can check. With City Winery Atlanta, Ticketmaster.com. There may be some seats available for the 10:30 show. I'm not sure.
I don't know about that.
I don't
know. They have to check.
but I will say this, like, it's gonna be a night of euphoria and pandemonium and all the things it should be. This is given what it need to be given, because it's cuffing season. So
definitely, and this is not, like I tell people all the time, Raheem DeVaughn show. It's not just a ladies show. Like, I saw so many guys out there with their ladies last night.
It's either couples, or it's ladies' night out, like one or the other, and I welcome both. You know what I mean? Because if you on a couple vibe, then it's finna be a great night of Cuddy. It's gonna be
Baby Raheem's coming in 9 months.
It's gonna be a great night of Cuddy. It's gonna be an amazing date night for you, I promise. And then if you just coming as, if you coming, single on the mingle,
Need something for you there too.
Yeah, if you're a single man, it definitely is a lot of, sand. It's a plethora of sand at the beach and all the things. I love Atlanta, man. I love the the energy that y'all. I love what y'all give, when y'all come out. You know what I mean?
And as we close this out, you're doing a meet and greet, right?
Yeah, this meet and greets, they typically happen before the shows or right after the shows. But yeah, there's definitely meet and greets. You can do a paid meet and greet, and the entire time I'm there, I encourage you to get a bottle of Raheem DeVaughn, the Love Down, Love Life. Like, what is it? Love Life, Love Down.
It's wine and it's good.
They got to play on love and life. My foundation, the Love Life Foundation. When you buy a bottle of wine, that's signed by me at the City Winery while I'm there, you support my community efforts with the Love Life Foundation to feed those that are homeless, to continue to fight and bring more awareness to domestic violence. Paying for students' books and supplies for their first year of college, and so many other initiatives that are close to my heart, via my foundation, the Love Life Foundation. So definitely come get you a bottle of wine.
Yeah, sip good,
too.
Do
sip
good.
Sip good. Man, it'll be a rare form tonight. The whole weekend.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, we're going to let him go so he can get ready to get on stage. So if you're headed down to City Winery, don't speed, but hurry up. And if you're not headed down there, that's where all lanes are leading to all weekend long. Raheem DeVaughn, City Winery. It's magic.